heard from numerous individuals that can attest to the character of Chris Shaw. But what is likely often overlooked in his illustrious career is the successful mentorship that he provided to a handful of misfits like myself. The media will never hear a story like this, but it's worth sharing for the simple reason that it highlights the role that Chris never imagined he would take, that as a mentor. I never got around to asking Chris why he chose to volunteer for the assignment of YSA, or if he had a choice in the matter. Perhaps the motto, "to protect and serve," got to his head. But needless to say, Officer Chris Shaw chose to pursue that as a way to serve. Having this opportunity to reflect on my life is truly a privilege, because I can look back and give credit to a man that has empowered me to pursue a noble life filled with purpose. I'll admit my life hasn't always been something to be proud of, but without the guidance that I received from the Los Angeles Police Department and provided by YSA officers like Chris Shaw and Officer Lowry, of course, I would likely be in a different set of circumstances. So a little bit about myself. I am from Los Angeles, and at 16, I got to know Officer Chris Shaw. And there's so many things I can continue to say about him. To begin with, you know, he helped set up a scholarship for me when I was going to college. He also helped pay for my travel fees to go to Washington, D.C. to serve as an intern for Senator Dianne Feinstein, regardless of your partisan affiliation. And of course, we never lost touch because of the man that he was and how much he was willing to give to an individual like myself. Ask any sane teenager if they would gladly volunteer their weekends to wear a uniform that essentially puts them at odds with the community today. Ask them if they would do so if it meant giving up their social lives. To be fair, I didn't have much of a social life. I can recall running straight from school to the West LA station every Friday. And on the days we weren't there, I would count the days until I would be back in that uniform. Several of us went to college and are happily living our lives that reflect the honesty, integrity, and commitment to service that Chris most certainly espouses. It is no surprise that Chris is surrounded by friends and loved ones that recognize a career marked by extraordinary service to country and community. To his credit, he developed 2 political operatives, one as a Republican and one as a Democrat, who unfortunately could not be here this evening. He can take credit for 2 service members. He can take credit for inspiring us to be good husbands and wives, brothers and sisters, and friends and neighbors. And above all that, he can take credit for giving us memories that transcend our darkest and most challenging times. He can rest easy that he has transformed several lives to carry on his work of public service. I am reminded of this quote by Horace Mann, who was a noteworthy educator. His legacy are immortalized by his words, "Be ashamed to die until you have won some victory for humanity." There is no doubt that Officer Chris Shaw has won several. Make no mistake, the uniforms that Chris has worn certainly speak to his character. But in my opinion, it's the lives that he fostered that will be his greatest testimony to a life well lived. Thank you, Chris. We'll miss you.
There were some wonderful words, and it was a very, well,